Hi everyone, and welcome to this video introduction to qualitative research with MaxQda. My name is Amélie Dumarché. I'm a researcher in regional development in Canada, and I'm also a certified trainer for MaxQda software. So the first thing we're going to talk about is what is MaxQda. MaxQda is a software for qualitative analysis and mixed methods research. It's really comprehensive and can be used for a lot of different types of research projects. And I think it's also very intuitive and very convenient to use. It's honestly one of my favorite analysis softwares, and it's the one I use the most. I think I've been using it for almost all the research projects I've been doing or involved in the last few years, really. One of the reasons I use it so much, and the reason I can actually use it so much, is that it supports many types and formats of data. So you can use MaxQda to work with almost everything, with interviews, press and news, audio files, video files, images, also with web pages, field notes, literature references, tweets, survey results, and many other data sources. And you can also use it with a lot of different methods, such as content analysis or thematic analysis, of course, for case studies, for mixed methods. Mixed methods meaning combining qualitative and quantitative analysis. You can also use it for literature reviews, grounded theory, and so on. So it's really suitable for a wide range of projects. Another advantage of MaxQda is that it's exactly the same thing and the same software and the same interface for Mac and Windows. To my knowledge, it's the only software of this kind to do this. So what I'm showing you here is on a Mac, but you should have the exact same thing if you're working with Windows. Before we start, just a quick explanation about this kind of software. In the beginning, this type of software was designed as a computerized application for coding text, like we would do on paper using manual tools to categorize extracts of text. What I mean is, back in the days where we printed out our text on paper, coded them with marker pens or pencils, took notes in the margins of the document or on post-its, and then cut out the extracts of text that we had coded using scissors to finally file them in boxes or envelopes with teams for classifying and analyzing them. So it may seem like a long time ago, but it wasn't that long ago. So softwares like MaxQda were originally designed to do this on a computer. So they used to focus on the coding and retrieving of text extracts. But since then, these software programs, they have changed and grown a lot, and they have become tools with really great potential for all the other steps and parts of the research. So not just for the coding and analyzing. So obviously we want to be able to see everything in one short video, but remember that they can help you to collect your data and your documents, to organize them, to analyze them, of course, and finally to present them. So in the rest of this video, we are going to start by discovering MaxQda's interface. Then I will show you how to create a project and import your documents in this project. Then we're going to see how to explore and code these documents. And in the end, I'll show you, of course, how to find, to retrieve these extracts from coded documents. So let's start with MaxQda's interface. We're going to see how the software handles your research and how your data and the tools are organized in the workspace. One thing to understand is that MaxQda works with projects, with project files. So what is a project file? It's one single file on your computer where everything related to your research project is saved together at the same place. So it means that your documents, your codes, your memos, annotations, everything is saved together in your project. To launch a project, it's from the Home tab here. You can of course create a new one here, and you can also open existing projects from here. So the projects recently opened are all here, and you also have example projects here in a few languages. As you can see, MaxQda's interface is made up 4 windows. The fourth one is here. So 4 windows and a big toolbar up here with a few tabs. These windows actually are 4 different workspaces with different functions, and they are built to complete different tasks. The first window here is called the document system, and it's where all your documents and data are going to be stored and organized. So it means that all your interviews, images, audio, video, recordings, everything you are going to import in MaxQda is going to be listed and organized here. So if we imagine a handmade version of your project, like I was saying, a non-computer assisted version of your project with printed documents and pens and marker pens and scissors, this window here would be like a binder or a shelf where you can store and organize your data. The second window here is the document browser, and this is where you can open, read, code, and annotate your documents. If it was a handmade project, as I was saying, this would be the space on your desk or on your table where you would open your documents to work on them. The third window here is the code system. And this is the list of your codes. It's a tree-like list, like this, where they are all organized. So this would be like the box of marker pens and the chart where you would have assigned each color to a team. And the fourth window now is the retrieve segment window. So it shows the documents extracts that have been assigned to a specific code. Just let me show you, like this. So this would be like the envelopes or the boxes, the cardboard boxes, in which you would have stored and organized the pieces of paper from your text after highlighting and cutting them off. So to use and handle these 4 windows, you can hide one just by clicking here, so like this, and it's just down here when you need it again. There are also 2 layout options, which I think are up here, like this. You can display the 2 windows, so document browser and retrieve segment window side by side, which is nice when you have a big, large screen, but for a laptop, I prefer this one, like this. You can, of course, change the size of the windows. You can just drag them like this. This one too. You can undock a window like this and drag it to a second screen if you have one, and to bring it back again, it's the same icon here. You can do searches in each of the window like this in here with the magnifying glass tool, and so you can search for the name of a document, the name of a code, a specific word in your document, these kind of things. And another interesting feature in the Home tab is the logbook. So in the logbook, you can take notes about your project. And you see there is a calendar here. And if you click on this, you are going to get a new timestamp. So you can take your notes and you can come back later and add a new one. And as you can see, they are sorted with the most recent at the top. But you don't have to use the timestamps. You can just take notes however you want in this window, and you have a lot of formatting options here. Before we move on, I just want to show you that the help system in MaxQda is very good and never far, because if you drag your mouse over something like this, most of the time the description of the function will just pop up, as you can see, like this. And also the eye icon here, so the blue one here, is available almost everywhere in MaxQda, and it's a link to the corresponding function or feature in the user manual online. So it's going to take you to MaxQda's website, to the user manual online for this function, this tool. So now you know how the MaxQda's interface works. Just a piece of advice: don't get overwhelmed, or at least try not to, with what looks like a huge amount of features and icons everywhere. They are overlapping a lot, and the same features can be found in a lot of different places, like in the tabs up here, in the toolbars, in the context menus, and so on. So the point is just to have them close whenever you need them, so that's why they are a bit everywhere. Now that we've seen MaxQda's interface, let's see how to create a new project and how to import documents. To create a project, you can do this from the first screen, the one when you open MaxQda, or you can open it from here in the Home tab again. So let's create a new one. So this is an empty project, and as you can see, the 4 windows are empty. From here, there are 2 places from which you can import your documents. The first one is from the Import tab here, which we will see in more detail soon. And the second one is from the Document System window here, both in the toolbar and straight from a folder. So I'm going to show you how to import documents from the document list, then we'll see the toolbar at the top. I have 2 groups of interviews on my computer, which were conducted in 2 different places, so we are going to see a different option for each group. So the first option is to import documents straight into the list. From here, see Import Documents. Like this, and see your documents are here in the list. Next, you can create a folder, new document group. Folders are called document groups in MaxQda. And then you can select your interviews and just drag them in your new folder, like this. The second option is to start by creating your folder, like this. And then you can import your documents straight into your folder from here, from this green cross here. So this is maybe the more convenient option if your documents are already organized on your computer. So that's it. It's really simple. Just one thing, make sure you select the right folder, because MaxQda will put the documents in the selected folder, so the one highlighted in blue, like this. So if you don't want your documents in a folder, just select documents at the top. That's the main folder. And in any case, if your documents are not in the right folder, or if you created the folder after importing them like I did first, you can move them, drag them around one by one or as a group. Okay, let's have a look at the toolbar now. You can see that you can import almost any kind of documents into MaxQda. So we've just seen text documents from here, and you can import also tables, PDFs, images, and a lot of things from the document system. But you also have a lot of tools to import many different types of documents. You have here the images, audio, and video files. You can also import transcription files from interview or from focus groups. And you can also use files, transcriptions files coming from different softwares. You can see here the list of software supported. You can also import survey data from SurveyMonkey or Excel. You can import data from YouTube. You can import web pages. There is a nice tool called the Web Collector to import web pages. You can import data from your bibliographic management software here. And there are also tools from importing structured data, such as, well, discussion groups we've seen here, but any other kind of text and tables with structured data, so here and here. You can also create an empty document and paste or write everything you want in it. and you can convert text to table or text to a transcript with these few options here. Okay, so that's it for importing documents. Now that we have imported and organized some documents in the document system here, we are going to see how to open them, read them, and, well, of course, annotate them and take notes, and also, of course, how to code these documents. For this, I'm going to open the first project we've seen. It's going to be easier to show you and also easier for you to understand with a project with more data. Okay, like this. So when you want to open a document, just you double click on it and it's going to be open here in the document browser. So let's have a look at the document browser window now. And you see when your document is open, the one open is going to be displayed in bold here in the document system. So the document browser window, this here is the code bar where your codes are going to be displayed, and also your memos and annotations. No, I don't have any memos in this one. Yeah, your memos and annotations like this, this kind of posted here. So when you start reading your documents, you will probably want to take notes, so you can use the memos, which are like post-it notes or sticky notes. So for example, if you want to create a memo, just highlight some text, insert memo for selection here, and this is a memo window. And you can see that there are a lot of options. You can choose an icon. You can even assign a label to the different kind of icons here. And there are a lot of options to format your text. So this is your memo, and you can write everything you want. And once you close the window, it's going to be displayed here. And you can also create a memo just by double-clicking anywhere in the memo bar here, like this. This is a new memo. You can create memos anywhere in your documents, so just by highlighting some text and using the context menu, or using the memo bar, but you can also create memos for documents, for your documents in here in the document system. So it would be like having one big post-it that you can stick on the front page of your document, and these are called document memos. So for example, this is a Max document memo, and you have the same thing for codes here. Now to open these memos, we've seen that in the document browser they are here and you just have to double click on it, and you can also open the memos from a document from the document system. For example, going to this document with a right click, overviews, memo, and you're going to have all your memos from this document. And there is also a memo tab up here, which has more advanced tools to work with memo. So back to the document browser here, there is an important thing about documents in text format in MaxQda. Is that there is an editing mode here. It's to avoid accidental modifications to your documents when handling or coding them. Like you may highlight a part of a document and hit the delete key by mistake. So the documents are in read-only mode unless the edit mode here is activated. So if you see a typo or a spelling mistake or something, just activate this, fix it, and don't forget to deactivate the edit mode in the end. For text documents also, you can select paragraphs with one click on the paragraph number here. So this is useful if you want to code or annotate a whole paragraph in one click. And if you like, you can also activate the line numbers here instead of the paragraph number. So just a right click converts to line number text. And you can go back to paragraph numbers if you want to. One last thing before showing you how to code. No, two last thing. This one here, I've already shown you, but you can do searches on your text with this magnifying glass icon tool here. And the last thing I want to show you is the highlighting tool here. This is an interesting tool for when you're starting to work and you're having a first look at your documents. It's pretty much like a marker pen. So for example, you know that this text extract here is going to be important, but you don't know exactly why, you don't have a coding grid yet, you just want to be able to come back to it later for some reason. So you can just highlight it and come back to it when you're ready to. So you pick a color here and see it's been added to the code system here. So you're going to be able to find these highlighted extracts later. Well, that's it for exploring documents. Next step, we're going to see how to code these documents. Codes are one of the key functions, probably the key function of MaxQda. So what is a code? A code is a keyword or a label used to identify and categorize the content of your documents. So coding, the action of coding, is when you select an extract from a document here and you assign it to a code from your code list here. And all the codes you are going to create are going to be in this window here called Code System. And like with documents, you can organize and sort your codes just by dragging them around like this. So if you already know the topics for your analysis, the categories which are going to be in your code list, you can just start creating your codes from this window and create a list. So to create a code, it's this icon here. So that's the new code window. You can choose the name of your code, and you can pick a color, and you can even add a description, which is going to be saved as a memo for the code. And you click OK, and just look, this code is going to be used as a subcode of the one selected here. So be careful which one you pick when you create a new code. But in any case, you can rename your codes, reorganize them, delete them, whatever you want. You can also create codes directly at the location you want in your code list with this green cross here, like in the document system when you import documents. So if I want to create another subcode for this one, I can do it from here. Here. And to delete a code, it's here. So that's it for creating codes from the code list here. And now let's see how to code documents. It's really simple. You open your document, you select an extract, this one, and like this, or by highlighting your extract, and you drag it over the code you want to assign to it, like this. That's it. So the code is displayed here in the code bar, and the document extract is added here to the number of coded segments with this code. So it's this simple to code, really. But this, what I just showed you, is only one way, one of the many ways to code in MaxQda. There are many others, and we can't possibly see all of them in this short video, but I'll try to give you at least a preview or a tour. So for example, in the toolbar up here, these are a few other coding tools available. So you have the highlighters that we've seen, the emoticons, you can code with emoticons. And in here, you can select one of the last codes that you've used and use it to code a new extract, like this, using this icon here. With this one here, you can create a new code and use it. And this one here is called an in vivo code. And it means that the content of the extract, like its text, is going to be used as the name of your code. See, like this. The name of the code is identical to the text I've just coded. And there are also a few other options to code, like keyboard shortcuts, favorite codes, and so on. One last option maybe that I can show you is here. It's the open coding mode. When you click on it, the open coding mode is activated. See, the icon turns gray. And this option means that when you select some text and release your mouse, like this, it's going to open a new code window automatically. And see, if I start again, same thing, until I deactivate the mode, like this. Maybe a little tip before we move on. If you want to enlarge the coded area, so to code more text, so for example, maybe a sentence before or after, it's easy. You see the tags at the beginning and the end. You can just drag it like this and adjust the coded segment. So that's it for coding. Now that we know how to code documents, let's see how to find the coded text extracts. So to find these coded extracts from your documents, to retrieve them, like it's called in MaxQda, it works with the activation system and the retrieve segments window here. So searches in MaxQda work by activating the documents and the codes. So it means that the software is going to look for the codes you activate in the code system here. In the document, you activate in the document system here, and to list the results here in the retrieve segments window. So for example, if I want to do a coding search to find out what was said in some of my interviews about a specific topic, I just have to select the interviews, so to activate them by clicking on the icon here or the dot here, and even on the folder icon if I want to activate all of them like this, and selecting a code by doing the same thing. And you see when a code or a document is activated, it's displayed in purple with some sort of purple diamond in front of it. And to deactivate them, just either you do the same thing again like this, or you have the option here to reset the activation. About code activations, an important detail is that by default, if you click on a code to activate it like this, it's going to activate both the code and subcodes. But if you use the context menu here, see on top, you can choose to activate only the code or both the code and subcodes. So let's start again and do this. I'm going to search for all the extracts from my New York interviews on the team carrier here. So see, the results are here. All the text extracts that are found in these documents with this code are displayed here in the retrieve segment window. So let's have a look at this window and the retrieve segments. You can sort them in the settings here. You can sort them by document, meaning following the order of your documents in your list of documents. So extracts from Max interview first, Teresa second, and so on. And you can sort them by code system. So it means if you have activated more than one code, they're going to be grouped by code. And you can search for a word in these results with the magnifying glass tool here. And you can also choose to display or not more or less information about the coded extract by displaying their source. So this icon here is to display information on the source. See, you have more information here and here. And it's interactive, which means that if you click on the source here, it's going to open the corresponding document in the document browser at the right place, so you can see the extract in its context. So this here, this is the default view, but you can also display it as a table like this. See, your extracts are here. So this is more quantitative preview of your segments. And there is also the overview of segments, which is here. And the overview of retrieve segments is a bit the best of both. So you can see the information on the table format here. I'll let you watch and have a look at the informations on your own. And you can also preview your segment here on the window here in the text window. So it's a bit the best of both. And of course, it's always interactive, so you can open it in the document browser here and see the extract in its context just by double-clicking on it, like this. And what else? Yeah, you can also record your results from this window or this one. You can just select an extract like this and drag it over a new code if you want to assign a new code to it. And you can also choose to record only an extract of this retrieve segment like this. One last thing about the retrieve segments window is that you can of course export your results. You can print them or print them on a PDF file, and you can also export them on a Word or Excel file. So that's it for the retrieve segments window. As you can guess, what we just saw in this video is just an introduction to the basic features of MaxQda. There are a lot of tools for almost every type of data, for many research projects, and for many different methods. Just if you have a look at the tables up here, you can see that you can use variables and mixed method tools to work with information associated with your documents. So for example, age, location, profession, this kind of thing. You can also use very rich analysis tools here, and you have very interesting visual tools in this one, and also the possibility to generate all kinds of reports from here. And there is also the MaxQda module, which can be very interesting. There is also really interesting features for the audio and video files as well. You can work straight from audio and video documents, you can do transcriptions in MaxQda manually and automatically, and you can code straight from your audio and video files without having to transcribe them first. But of course we can't see everything in this short video, so if you want to learn more about how to use MaxQda and how it can help you with your projects, I can also provide more extensive training, consulting and assistance for projects and teams. And there is also a complete MaxQda course which is entirely online. It's a 15-hour course that you can access 24/7 online, and you can follow it at your own pace. There are all the basics we've just seen, of course, but with a lot more details, tips and exercise, and it really covers all the aspects and tools of the standard version of MaxQda. And the goal is that by the end of this course, you should be able to import all kinds of data into MaxQda, to use all the analysis tools available, and to adapt them to your projects, to your own projects. And also to be able to use the variables and the mixed method tools if you need them, and to generate all sorts of visualizations and reports to present your research results. So if you want to find out more, you can check out my website, and you're also welcome to contact me. Thank you for watching, and I wish you all the best with your research projects.